And go. Let's see. Hi. This presentation or interview is going to be with my sister, Satara Gibson, and her boyfriend, Kenneth Vaughn. What I want them to do first is to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about them, and then we'll go into the interview. Why don't we start with you, Satara?
Hi, my name is Satara Gibson. I work for Quest Diagnostics as a supervisor for the last 4 years. I've been in Atlanta, Georgia for approximately 3 months. I'm now dating Kenneth Vaughn for 3 months and a half.
Hello, I'm Kenneth Vaughn, and I'm Vice President of Level 3 Associates. And what we do, we are a privately owned inspection company, and we inspect different products, aviation products, things of that nature. And I've been dating Satara.
Really get it right, babe.
I know, wow, really. I've been dating Satara for 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. One of the first things I want to do is to ask you guys a couple of questions, but the first one to start it off is, can you define in your own words what marriage is, or what marriage means?
Marriage to me means honesty, commitment. It's challenging. It can be, in other words, I guess you can say it's sacred. I feel like you have to put boundaries in place. And to do that, when you date a person, you have to come off the rip of letting them know what your expectations are and what you are looking for in a marriage. So I would say, Kenneth, within the 3 months, you know that already, right?
Oh, I'll marry you tomorrow, but you might say no until I get the ring.
God. Okay, Ken, what are your...
Marriage to me is when a man, in accordance with the Bible and God's law, take a woman to be his soulmate. Take a woman to come into his life and say, hey, no matter what it takes, you are my queen, and together we go forth. And we do things, we become great together. And marriage is sacred. It's something that, you hold dear because you make a commitment, not only to yourself, but you do it in the sight of God, you do it in the sight of your friends and your family, and that's what it is to me. But I would hold the sanctity of marriage very sacred between the two individuals.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure about you, but I know you've been married once. Have you been married before?
I've been married before, too. I've
Okay.
been divorced for quite a while now.
So have you guys learned anything from your first relationship that you would bring into another one, or that you would make sure you don't bring into a new relationship? Have you grown since your first marriage?
Myself, I have learned so many things from the first time I was married that some things, they're inherited through life, experiences. But some things, you look at and say, I might have done that wrong, and I need to make it better in the way of saying, hey, we can't get it right all the time the first time, but if going forward, you have to look at things and say, hey, you just have to take perspective on it and own up to your failures or your achievements.
Good, that's good answer. What about with you?
I would say be true to yourself. Live for yourself and not try to live for others. My experience is being able to share my views and not second guess or question what may be said after. So yes, I've learned a lot. I'm a very more straightforward. What I say what I mean. So I'm like, in my first marriage, I was very passive. I was very, okay, your world, his world and my world, it was about his world, and I was trying to accommodate his world. So now I have a new way of looking at things. It should be something that's equal. So by me sharing and opening up a little bit more, I think it has helped me be the better person I am today when it comes to relationship, because this is like the second relationship I've been in since I've been divorced, and it's a process. It's a process, so.
Okay. What do you look for in a partner when you're looking as far as dating someone? What do you look for? What are some of the attributes?
I would say for me, I'm a person that I get bored quick. What I mean by that, if you show me no interest or I feel that it's nothing to grow, my thing is I want someone that how can I say this? I want someone that
Just say it. That's
I mean, I want someone that loves me for me and respects me as a person. I want someone that we can laugh and we can joke and we can actually agree to disagree and be able to come back. I'm not a person that holds grudges, so that person that has to know, even though we don't get along eye to eye all the time, we can, say what we have to say to each other and be mature enough to come together and talk about it without making it linger on and on and on. So I would say someone that's understanding, someone that loves me, someone that respects who I am as a woman, and to share. I mean, because my big thing is, first you have to, I see that how he feels about his mom, that makes me, it makes me feel a certain way that he know how to love a woman. Because first, I feel like if he doesn't love his mom, then he wouldn't know how to love me. So that's a point on his part that really kind of engaged me into him a little bit more, just hearing how he is with his mom and his sister and making sure they safe and they got what they need, and him being the supporter. So that was a...
But you see it, so that's the beauty of that one. It's one thing about talking about it, but it's a whole different thing about doing it.
Exactly.
And that's what's up.
Right.
You're right. You're absolutely...
For me, honesty. But somebody that moves me religiously, spiritually, that we share some common ideals, that we know there's a greater being in the world. We're here for a reason, but we can pray with each other. We can to agree to disagree, and I think that's beautiful. I met you and didn't expect all this woman I have right now, but I'm cool with it.
Okay. You guys are still in that newness. So I see all kind of little.
Nobody trying to step on toes.
Okay.
Everybody like tiptoe.
So, what, you hit on it a little bit. What do you guys feel about communication? What do you rank communication in a relationship? Whether it be a dating relationship or even a friendship.
I think you have to have an understanding. I mean, two people are not the same. And I'm only sharing this because me and Kenny only been dating for 3 months, and we have had...
Communication is hard.
It's hard for me because I'm so used to having my own and doing my own, to when a man comes in and steps in and he comes in and he tries to, I wouldn't say dictate, but I want to be, he's a little bit more comfortable. I'm not as my mom tells me all the time, you don't show any affection. And it's not that I don't show any affection, it's just, it's kind of hard because I'm on the defensive. And I know you have to let your guards down, but at the same time, as a African American black woman, we go through a lot. We deal with a lot. We endure more than I would say a man. And a man is never going to tell us how they feel or show us how they feel. They have this nonchalant attitude. But on the flip side of it, with being with him, he has showed me that he can be sensitive. So with that being said, I can say that it works kind of like...
Because I happen to care. I mean, my experiences have been wide and varied. I've been blessed,
Right.
but I was blessed to meet you. So
Right.
I'm cool with that. And it's been, I didn't expect how things have transpired between us, how they are. I mean, I met you, I'm like, okay, let me take her out and let's see what happens. But I've grown to, and people say, in this short time, I've grown to fall in love with you. It is what it is. Your feelings are your feelings, and what you feel is what you feel. And, we share some common things, religiously, we know it's a higher being. And we gotta pray and say, just thank you for each day we wake up and we live. So yes, it's challenging because we see things different. It just wouldn't be
And I guess
perfect
I guess
if it was like,
he's
oh,
the
we agree with
first
everything.
guy.
We can't do that.
He's the first guy for us being on a religious element role with me that we have conversations about God. We talk about, and I respect him because as a man, he has really respected where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do. We don't agree on everything, but
You never will.
But I mean, when I say agree on everything, I mean about certain things that you may feel, well, like today, babe, we riding in this car and we not talking to each other. I'm like, okay, you sharing your thoughts on me and my mama. Who does that? He's like, I'm like, okay, sometimes we can just be quiet. We ain't gotta talk.
But the
all
car
the
was
time.
too quiet.
But he was
The
like,
music was. I purposely didn't turn the music on because I probably want to have a conversation with this lady that has captivated my attention. So it was so quiet in the car, and I'm riding down the street like, saying, what's really going on? And you know, I'm like, I wonder what she thinks. She thinks like, you know, those things crossed my mind. And I don't know if those same things crossed her mind, but I was like, it's awful quiet in there. And I didn't turn the radio on purposely. Because I was just natural. Ride down the street and have a conversation. Who knew?
One of the things that you said, and I'm actually glad you brought it up, is about your guard. So you have a guard up, and you meet someone that is actually trying to pull this guard down. So he's working against gravity, trying to get to you. How has that made you feel when you got someone who really is trying to come in, but you still have this guard up? Are you willing to drop it? Are you willing to release it? And you have to be, because you have, if there's past hurts, you can't move forward until you release it. So how do you feel about that?
it's hard. Each day is challenging. With my thing, I had to, make a conscious effort to say, you know what, I'm not going to bring what happened in my past relationship into any relationship I'm in, for number one. Okay. Number two is dealing with things, certain things as a black woman, you're going to feel as though no matter what, in the beginning, a man he woos you. He tells you what he wants you to know to get what he wants, or vice versa in that point. But at the same time, my guard is up to, because I said more often than I've ever said, Lord, if this ain't the man for me, do something to just take me away from it. So that's my constant thing on a daily thing with him, because Kenny is very challenging. He's very, when I say challenging, not in a bad way, baby, but I'm saying he's he's very challenging when it comes to me not having, I've never had a man in my life that was so affectionate. I mean, they show affection, but he's different. So it's like a different, so it's like, is it for real? Is this, so you second guess yourself. So my guards are up, and when he constantly say, babe, on guard, let him down, let him down a little bit, because it's not that serious, let him down. And I'm like, okay, I take a breath, but in the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself, you can't get caught up in, you won't forever think that. But each day, for me, it gets better. Each day he does something spontaneous that made me think, oh, he really do, feel this way. So each day that we share, time together, it's growing. It's making me, come a little bit. But that's something that, you're going to eventually, every person going to have to work on. That's something, like you said, we are new. It's only three months in and running. In the force.
But strong.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, like the saying said, if you work on something if you want something really, really bad, you work towards it. So that's my biggest thing. I mean, because
you working toward it?
I'm here, huh?
Answer to the camera. You working toward it?
Yes.
The camera. Answer to the camera. We want to know. America, agree with me.
I'm working.
But I feel you, because I've had guards, and it's just so ironic that I met you, and I see myself in a different light, because I have truly let my guards like, whoa, and I have. But It's because, in life, you can go hard all the time. But she caught my attention, and I'm like, okay, I have to ask myself sometimes, what if I don't let my guard down? So I'm cool, I'm comfortable, let his will be, because for me, I'm like, I've been in that guarded situation, like, okay, yeah, she's, all that, she's sexy and all that, but I just have been having a blast enjoying life since I met you, with you in my life, so I'm cool with that. And we're going to see what happens. Because every day not a good day, because, we can go back and forth because our personalities are strong. And we both be like, because in our lives, I guess we've been in charge of our lives to a point that now we're trying to invite each other into each other's life, and we be holding on to stuff. And I know that happens. You know that happens. But it's cool. We're going to work it out. I ain't going nowhere, so it's cool.
You ain't going nowhere?
Make it do what it do.
I know it's only been 3.5 months, but how do you guys handle conflict? Because, being that
It
it's
varies.
two different, you guys, two different individuals coming in together, how do you handle the conflict?
It varies. Sometimes we have gotten to, I need to speak on this one because it's
Go ahead.
Because we have gotten to the point that we've talked, get mad, we look at each other like whatever and keep it going and keep talking. And then we have gotten to the point that we won't talk for a couple hours. And then we've been mad at each other, and then it's like, I might try to push up on her. Because it is what it is. So we've had very different, it's been different. Recently we had a funny one that we rode for about 3 hours, didn't talk. We got home, we didn't talk. And we didn't talk for the rest of the night and the day. And then you come to bed, and we still don't talk, but I reach over and kiss on the inside, I still love you. And the next day it was cool. So we go through because we learning each other. And I think that's cool. Because ain't nobody packed up and talk about I'm gone. I mean,
okay.
And then if you do that, I won't be trying to swoon you. I won't be like, dang, come back home.
I mean, I just learned to be honest with you, he'll tell you, I shut down. I just don't say nothing. Listen to what he has to say. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay. Because in the back of my mind, I'm going to do what I said what I had to say. I'm done with it. And that's what he don't like, because I'm like, Kenny, no, that's not what you said. That's not what you're going to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I just don't say nothing. And he gets upset because I'm not and I tell him, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm too old for that. I'm not that. I'm going to say, you don't like what I said, okay. You're entitled to that. I don't like what you said, I'm entitled to that. What we're going to do, we're going to give each other space. You go in your corner, I go in my corner. When you ready to talk to me, like we can talk to each other, then we come together. And that's how we've been dealing with it. We have had 2 big blow-ups.
But I don't like quiet. I don't like quiet because it drives me crazy. I'm like,
but sometimes you need a break.
Yeah, I get
and you need to back up. And actually, go off to yourself so that when you do talk, you're not constantly bumping heads or blowing up and arguing. I know for us, I'm just speaking about our relationship, me and my sister. We grew up in a household where my father was very abusive to my mom. So we've seen a lot. Right. And one of the things I know that we share, we don't want to go into that type of relationship. And so we're not argumentative. We're going to say what we got to say, and then we're going to keep it moving.
Yeah, so, I've dealt with some of that. But it's cool, though.
Yeah,
and I'm still ain't trying to go no thing. I'm like, okay, let's get where we at. Because everybody sometimes take things differently. So,
but like you said, we're still in that newbie thing where we're relearning each other. My only thing is how much can a person are willing to tolerate with the person. And that's my thing with him, because I've told him, I was like, kid, I'm not finna argue with you. Been through this road, I'm not finna do this. Either you say what we got to say, and he'll go, I don't want to argue either. I'm like, okay then. So let's let's go to Nutriconas. Let's go to Nutriconas. Let's go to Nutriconas.
At the end of the day, what you arguing for?
And that's what he do. He don't understand. We'll go to Nutriconas. He'll go downstairs and watch the game. I'm upstairs, and he'll go, I go in the kitchen, get me something to drink. He'll come back. Then eventually he'll say, "You want something to eat? You want something to drink?" If that's his way of communicating, saying he okay with whatever, then we'll come, yeah, okay. And then we'll have a conversation. But he knows.
You hadn't gotten all the.
You know, it takes me a minute. It takes me a minute because I don't want to say things that I'm going to regret later. And it's going to take me a minute to collect my thoughts. Because I don't want to be ugly. And I don't want to say things. Because when we say things out of anger, we may mean, you know, not saying that people say, you know, we say things that we mean. But we can say them in a cruel way where it can hurt that person. So what I try to do, and I know that I keep to myself, and he doesn't like that. I just bag down and don't say nothing because I know that I can be that person.
But we both sometimes don't say anything.
Speaking on her coming from a sister point of view, let her do that.
Thank you.
Oh,
And the reason why I say that is because I know my sister. And she can say some things. You say some things that you mean, but she can say some things that she don't mean.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And that can be very
I believe
hurtful.
she cut. She could cut.
Yeah, she'll cut you.
But, you
She'll
know,
cut you up.
me personally, I get to that point, I'm like, what this is? It just don't.
But you gotta understand when you're trying to grow in life as a person, because you know I used to be a very hot-headed person. I mean, it didn't care where I'm gonna give it to you to the rip. I'm gonna shoot it from the hip, and I don't care who feelings I hurt, because at the point I feel like you hurting me. I am at the age of my life that's not who I am or what I'm trying to be about. And for me to allow someone to push me to go backward when I'm trying to do something to correct myself as a person, I prefer to walk away, leave it alone, and go about my business. And so that's why I've learned throughout the years, look, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to tell you what I need. And if this, we're going to, you can't, if you don't agree to disagree and we come together as one, then we're wasting each other's time. Life is too short. Time waits for no one. So with that being said, it's called understanding and get to know each other. We're at an age, you're 52, I'm 48. You have 2 sons, I have 3 daughters.
Okay.
So with that being said, my thing is I look at my kids, I don't want them to ever have to go through or endure anything that I endured in my life. But I also want to be able to be supportive because they are married. And then they're looking at me, you know, and say, hey, and I'm just saying out there too, like you say, America, 48 years old and hollering about you got a boyfriend, that is not cute at all. So with that being said.
So do we need to do something about that?
Of course.
Okay. America, tune back in a few months. We got something for you. Because it's all challenging and it's all good, you know, because I find myself like, wow, I'm really, because, oh yeah, I could be a damn high-head going back and forth with you. Like, what you do? But you know what? I have found myself to just sitting back and saying,
yeah, you do humble yourself quite a bit. Even
your family says I'm really that. Like this because I can remember when I was just go in like, oh, what, you really want to go there with me? Let's have this conversation. Let's have this on. I don't care about that because I'm like, okay, yeah, let me see what she's talking about. Hey, I like it. So I ain't mad at nobody. I mean, I see myself. I really do, and I'm like, wow, bruh. Sometimes I say, bro, what's up, dude? Who this is? Wake myself, no, me waking myself up. Who you, boy? But no, it's all good, though. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you. I thank you, because I'm like, I'm cool with that. You know,
I think we balance each other to a certain extent.
That's good. And that's good that you guys are seeing this early on.
Yeah, of course.
So the longer that you get, you know, you guys are together, the better it gets.
Oh, this is my Bonnie. I told her
when
I first met her, I wanted Bonnie.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, we about to go get a couple banks.
That is not
show
it's
me.
a joke.
Please,
It's a
joke.
joke.
Please.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay. Well, one of the last questions that I want to ask, and this is a good one. What do you like best about him? And then you tell me what you like best about him.
Oh, no, you answer it first.
No, you go first. You go first.
Ladies go first.
Ladies first.
What is it that you like
Ladies
best
first.
about Mr. Kenneth Vaughn?
I like because he is a perfect gentleman. He really know how to treat a lady. He's very considerate. I don't know. Sometimes he got a little swag on, just a little bit. I have to tweak it just a little bit. He got a little bit of swag. He got a little swag.
I got some swag.
He got a little swag, but most of all, because from day one, he was a perfect gentleman. He was. He kind of like took me out of the little line of fight when we first met.
Because you was
Yeah.
getting passed around.
Yeah.
You didn't even know, did you?
You know how we met, you know,
I was peeping at her from a tailgate. First half, I was like, all right, let me see who she was, what's going on. So I was peeping. I mean, I was just doing me. I was doing the Kenny thing, sitting back, chilling, like, okay. And then for me, let me go ahead and make my move. So that's what I did. We started talking. Then we walked away from the crowd, and then you found out then that
it was
my boy's girl was mad at you about sitting in the seat.
Yeah, it was a little altercation, whatever, but he kind of like
But
pulled me away and was like, look, you know, it kind of, because I was a newbie to the group, and so he was like trying to, you know, he does not like that, and I don't know why she did that. So from that point, and then us on our first date, he has just been a perfect gentleman. And then the thing about it, us being to the point where I had to just tell him, I was like, okay, well, you know, what you looking for? What you want? What you trying to?
Attractive.
You know, what you trying to do? And he was like, at first he tried to put this little, you know, how men woo us. But at the end of the date, you know, I was like, okay, I think I can kind of like him a little bit. He gave me a little conversation. So I would say him being a perfect gentleman, he still is. And, you know.
What attracted me to you? I thought you were just sexy.
Really?
And remember, you had the blonde hair. Now, I have an attraction
To blonde
hair. I do. Okay. I mean, I'm just keeping 100. And it looked good on you. You know, your skin tone and the blonde hair. And I'm like, okay, she knew too. And you just big in them, girl. And so I'm checking it out. And I'm sitting back like okay, I ain't really talking to her, you know. So I was just, and so when she came, she went in the game with them, and she came back out. So I approached her and I said, well, hello, you know, I'm so-and-so. And they're watching from a distance, nodding, it's okay to talk to him or not. Because anybody approached her, that's what they was doing, like. So it was cool, okay. So they gave a nod okay for me. And so it's been history.
Okay.
And so we did, you know, a date. We went out, had a beverage.
What was our first date?
Papa Do's, baby. And, you know, we went and had a little something to bite on and conversation. It was cool. We've been hanging out ever since. You know, it's been, you know, we do this because, you know, it's your sister. So, you know, she like, what? So, and I'm back at her like, what you talking about? So we do that, but, you know, I fell in love, so.
But we made a promise to each other. We do not, at the end of the day, we not.
Make it work.
We talk about it, even though we disagree, we talk about it and keep going.
But it's challenging because you don't ever want to lose your identity as a human being. Like, I ain't bow down to this or that. Right. So we do that.
Right.
And we're getting away from that each day.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think she's a very beautiful woman. I think she has some, I know she has some qualities that they just don't fall out the sky.
Right.
They're real, they're genuine, they're homegrown. She's a real woman. She's 100% woman. I love all that about her. And she's sexy.
Oh. Too much of sister. But good. Well, I think we can wrap it up. I really appreciate both of you guys sharing your experience together. Do you have any last thing you want to add?
In relationships, it's all about what you make.
Gotta willing to fight for it if you want it.
And if you really want it, you'll fight for it. It'll just be in your makeup, your DNA. It's just real. That's just what it is. So, you know, I'm in a happy place right now. It's still challenging, but I'm in a happy place.
Okay.
Let me go see Jared. I'm gonna be in a better happy place.
Go see Jared. It's challenging, but it's, I mean, yeah, and I think that's a good thing because we both know that we have to put him first in everything we do. And I guess that's the thing that impressed me more about him, because he would leave in the morning. I'm like, what is he doing? He had a stature.
A rich one.
No. Let me say that he had a stature, but I didn't. It's not that he was praying to the statue, but he would kneel down, and I was like, what are you doing?
My black Jesus was in the house. I had my
Lord's Supper,
my black Jesus, and that was just my area. I see.
Yeah, no, that was his prayer.
That's what I say in the morning, you know.
So I seen him kneel down. I was like, what you doing? He said, I gotta give thanks to God before I walk out the store. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay. So, and then we had came to the point where we would start praying. And it's so funny because now when we go out to eat, you can feel people watch us.
Look at us like,
what y'all doing? Because he grabbed my hand and he'll pray before we eat and stuff like that. So I guess that's an attraction that I've never been exposed to when it comes to a man. So I guess that's why I'm a little bit.
And I can still be a thug. I can get a purse or two.
Don't be a thug.
I'm just playing.
You got too many jokes,
I'm just playing, man.
Well, okay.
I'm vice president. I'm gonna really stick somebody up. Vice president, come on. You stuck somebody up in there. Really? What would do when they do that?
What would Jesus do?
Give him back, Mom.
Well, before this go any further, we're going to go ahead and end the video. But thank you guys so much again for your time. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.